Despite the failed attempt to repeal Obamacare, health care reform may not necessarily be done. President Trump taunted Congress over its failure, even suggesting he would cut off payments for insurers and members of Congress and their staffs if the Senate doesn't go back to work on a repeal bill. And now there are discussions going on behind the scenes. The House Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus is working on a plan of its own to try to fix some of the problems of Obamacare. This is a coalition of some 40 lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans, who are aiming to stabilize the Affordable Care Act markets. Martha McSally is a Republican congresswoman from Arizona. Josh Gottheimer is a Democratic congressman from New Jersey. They're both members of this caucus. Thanks to both of you for joining us. And Congresswoman McSally, what's in these new proposals that you and your caucus are putting together? What's different, for example, from some of the earlier Republican bills?
Well, we've been working on this proposal quietly for the last few weeks, and we have been laser focused on where we can agree on stabilizing the individual insurance market. It's where about 7% of Americans get their insurance, and this is really what is collapsing across the country. 40% of counties only have one choice. Many counties have no choices. Prices are going up over 100% in some places like Arizona. So we said, look, guys, we disagree on some other things, but can we focus on where we can provide some stabilization and relief for the individual market? 2018 is coming fast, and also provide some relief for small businesses from the mandates.
So
we have a 4-point plan.
I just want to be precise. Yeah. So what you're trying to do is repair some of the problems of Obamacare, but you're not trying to repeal the whole thing. Is that right? What
we're trying to do is stabilize the individual market. Often then people get their shirts and skins on. Is this repeal or is this repair? Look, this is stabilizing the individual market for individuals and families that are being impacted by 2018, which is coming fast. So we've got, again, some good points in there. It's bipartisan. We had some spirited discussions and debates, but it provides relief, stabilizes with a stability fund that focuses on those high-risk individuals with pre-existing conditions, which is in both the House and the Senate plan, by the way. It funds the CSRs, but brings them under congressional authority, which was important to us. It provides a lift in the employer mandate from 50 employees working 30 hours a week all the way up to 500 working 40 hours a week. This is a real game changer for job creation for small businesses. And one other piece being giving more flexibility to the state. So Josh can give you some more details, but this is a really great plan, and it's good news.
So you think you could get a whole bunch of Democrats on board? Because it sounds like it isn't a complete repeal of the Affordable Care Act. It's simply trying to fix some of the serious problems of the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare, Congressman.
Well, Wolf, I think that's exactly right. What we were dealing with, and you've had 43 members of Congress come together, Democrats and Republicans, and instead of screaming at each other, actually sitting at the table and working together to say, how do we deal with the crisis at hand, which is the destabilizing marketplace, with people worried if they're going to have health care next month, premiums up 15 to 20% around the country. And Kaiser Foundation and others said if you can actually stabilize the cost-sharing payments to the states and actually help deal with some of the people with pre-existing conditions and help the states a little bit, you can get premiums down 15 to 20%, which is what we're dealing with in New Jersey and what Martha talked about. And what the big headline here is Democrats, Republicans trying to find a way forward. We're not going to solve everything, but we're trying to deal with the problem at hand, and that's exactly what we did.
Congresswoman McSally, have you spoken to anyone at the White House about this?
We have kept some people in the administration informed that we were working on these efforts. Since we've rolled them out yesterday, I have not talked to anybody. We've been doing a lot of media interviews, Josh and I, again, proclaiming this good news that Democrats and Republicans have sat down together, again, had a rigorous discussion, but we have come up with a plan to start solving the problem of this individual market and providing relief to small businesses. And this really is a big story and creates the space for moving forward.
Well, let me ask Congressman Gottheimer, have you spoken with the Democratic leaders in the House of Representatives? Is Nancy Pelosi, for example, with you?
Well, I'll tell you, I spoke to Leader Pelosi and I've spoken to others who say we need to let 1,000 flowers bloom here. And the big breakthrough, and I'm hearing this, and I know Senator Schumer came out and spoke about this and other leaders across the aisle, the big breakthrough is you actually have people willing to work together to deal with the immediate crisis, which is premiums skyrocketing and people concerned about the future of any kind of health care. And we need to fix, in my opinion, we need to fix it, not throw things out. We actually have to stabilize things and look to tomorrow. And the big news, and again, I really, as Martha stressed a lot, is the fact that now we've got some place to start to move forward. Nothing's perfect, but right now, instead of screaming at each other and wearing our respective political shirts, we're actually trying to build consensus and move forward. And what you're hearing is a lot of positive feedback. The Washington Post came out with a great editorial today on this. I've heard from people in my state that this is exactly what they want. They want someone who's going to actually talk to each other and figure it out. So that's the headline here, and I really believe we're onto something.
Do you think, Congresswoman, there's any chance that you and your caucus can go to the White House and meet with the president and try to talk him into what you're doing?
Well, we would love to have that opportunity, both with the administration and with the Senate and the House on both sides of the aisle. This is 43 members coming together. Again, we didn't love what the others were asking for on either side, but we said, all right, if we can get this, we'll tolerate that. And we had to get over 75% of our caucus to vote yes and over 50% on each side for us to make this bold statement yesterday. So I think we've created the space to solve this problem. Again, 2018 is coming fast, and as we work through our sincerely held differences on other issues, let's work together to stabilize the individual market, to help families in our community, and provide relief to those small businesses. Moving that number up to 500 employees really will provide some economic growth opportunities. So these are singles and doubles. It's not a home run for everybody, but we're here to govern.
Very quickly, Congressman Gottheimer, how many Democrats, how many Republicans make up your caucus, your problem solvers caucus of 43?
It's about split evenly. We've got 23 Democrats and 20 Republicans. And I'll tell you, I know that Tom Reed, my co-chair in the caucus with Martha and others, have heard from others. Our phone's ringing off the hook of people now want to jump on both sides who say, how do we be part of this? Because, again, this is about, as Martha pointed out so right, Wolf, it's about helping families. It's about helping children. It's about helping seniors. They all want some certainty, know that tomorrow when they wake up, they're going to have coverage. And they can't afford to have their premiums keep going up. This will stabilize things. It will bring premiums down. I think that's what everybody's looking for on both sides of the aisle. Nothing is perfect, but building a consensus is never perfect, and you never get everything you want. And that's the idea here, that we actually have to move forward and govern.
I've heard from so many of the Democrats, especially the Democratic leaders, they really want to fix, to improve, to repair Obamacare. As long as the Republicans don't insist on a formal repeal, they want to work together. We'll see if you guys can make that happen. Representatives Martha McSally, Josh Gottheimer, thanks so much to both of you for joining us.
Thanks.